Welcome to KRA's The Hub, the official podcast of KRA Corporation. And now get ready to hear workforce topics and trends you need to know on the go.
Well, this is Jonathan Overall with KRA's The Hub podcast. I am here in Denver, Colorado at the 2025 NAHDAP Business Academy, and it's been a great time here connecting with business services professionals from around the country and also connecting with one of our valued partners here at KRA, the team from NAHDAP. And I'm joined here with David Barch and Alexis Franks that work with NAHDAP, and we're putting on a wonderful event again this year. David, Alexis, it's great to see you both again.
Jonathan, thank you so much. We appreciate the support from KRA at all of our events. You're a great partner to us, and thank you for this opportunity to talk about the Business Services Academy.
Yes, thank you for letting us join today. We appreciate being able just to be a part of the conversation and build the community of workforce professionals that we have in attendance and across the country, so thank you.
Yeah, and this is my second Business Services Academy, and I can tell you that the topics this year were very relevant. We had a team from LA County that was here, their first experience at this, and they were just marveled at the level of topics, the engagement of those that were in attendance, so great job. Planning a conference like this, every year things are changing within the industry, the world around us, the economy. What were some of the goals or objectives in planning this year's conference, and what were the takeaways that you wanted those who attended to walk away from?
I can start. I think one thing that I've seen throughout the week, and one of the larger goals and priorities that we had, was really to build an environment where business services professionals could come together and learn and share the challenges, the obstacles, and the successes that they're seeing every day in their communities. And because of the number of attendees, we're almost right at 400, but that creates a more intimate group of individuals and professionals that can really share their background. They can share their story and say exactly what is helping them to build trusted employer partnerships, how they can build strategic relationships, and really have program outcomes that are impactful for their community. So I think that was one large priority for us, to create that environment of peer-to-peer learning, and for those workshop presenters to be able to share practical advice that they could use back in their own day-to-day work.
You know, one thing I can share that I've really seen as a theme in a couple of the sessions I've been in is that doing what you've always done is not acceptable. I think we know that workforce is change. It doesn't matter if you're working with a job seeker, business and industry, or both. Doing what you've always done doesn't work. So we're also building an environment to encourage people grow, do things different. You may always do a job fair. There are better ways. Social media. There are so many different things that we have available as tools, but we just can't. We've got to grow. And, also bringing people together, networking. We know nothing takes the place of networking, having a conversation. But also with change, we have so many presentations of examples of how you can do something successfully. And then during the conference, you can meet with that speaker, that presenter, that team, and get some more in-depth of how I can take this back and do better with business services in my area.
That's great. I know when I started in business services with KRA over a decade ago, you work in a project, work in a local region, and it's very refreshing to know that other people are going through some of the same challenges as you, and to hear their best practices, how they've overcome. And I didn't have an opportunity to come to the Business Services Academy then, but being here today, I can look back and see how valuable those experiences are. Just being able to rub shoulders and talk to people that are subject matter experts, or I like to consider myself somebody that's still trying to figure things out. And we had an opportunity with some of our LA County team to present. And heard a lot of great feedback from different people on topics of need and interest. What are some of the trending topics that you've heard? I'm sure you've gotten some feedback from people in attendance. What have been some of the trending topics around business services that you feel this conference has really hit the mark on?
If you're growing and paying attention, which we all should be, in workforce development, the needs of business and industry have changed drastically, I'll say, in the last 5 years. Employers want exact training in one specific, sometimes more, but often one specific area. So now we've got to find that training as a business service rep, hoping there can be some kind of credential, certification, build a pipeline of people. Sometimes it's also helping a community college, some other entity build a training program. It's really, again, we have to partner training providers, job seekers, to bring and build that skill set so we can take that skill set, people skilled in that skill set, to the employer. So there's always been a need for that, but it's much more specific today, in my opinion, than in the past.
That's good.
And I'll just add, kind of in harmony with what David just mentioned, I also had the opportunity to present on collaborative business services programs and strategies. And the feedback that I received, and one of the most trending pieces, I really think is offering customized solutions for a business in the community based on what their need is, having that sector strategy thought process to be able to say, how can I align workforce services as a value add for an employer. Mm-hmm. So that was really a key piece. We had a lot of beginners in business services, this was a great environment for that, to have that conversation, and even to start off with a concept of a business services or a business needs assessment. That takes our program and selling and promoting one specific piece of a workforce program out of the picture and recenters our focus on what the business needs. And then we have the opportunity to connect based on that need and customize what solutions we offer. So I think that was a big trending topic this week for some of our newer learners, just to be able to say, this is how I am adding value for your business and not just selling a piece of a program. I think that was a huge piece. I also think there were a lot of good feedback and information on how business workforce professionals are utilizing AI in today's landscape. So our director of training, Kim, and myself had the opportunity to host a networking session. And one of the questions that our networkers had the ability to answer was how they're utilizing AI in their day-to-day work and throughout their programs. There were some feedback of individuals that were not allowed to use it in their specific role. There were some that were able to use it in pieces and parts of communication, of promoting program services, but not necessarily with dealing with skills gaps or creating an OJT contract. So maybe not the technical pieces, but there were some things that they were able to utilize AI just to expand their reach. So in this world where we're figuring out what exactly is the next step, how do we integrate AI into business services? There were multiple conversations of what we can do now and where we need to learn and grow for the future. So that really gives us a starting point to say, Kim and I can go back and see what training needs to be developed in the future for how we're developing policies for AI that can help and support workforce professionals to be more efficient in the work that they're doing. So all of these conversations lead to bigger and better things for NAHDAP, but hopefully to support business services and workforce professionals in general.
Yeah, you both mentioned something there around the mindset of continuing to do what we do and the challenge to overcome that, to try new things, to break out of the old mindset and the old way of doing things. And as you mentioned, that AI piece is really big. That was a trending topic in several sessions that I attended, and even in our conference, in our session, people had questions about that. And I don't know about what you guys are seeing, but I really feel that there's a need for that authenticity as well. And I think a big question that we're having internally, how do we maintain that authentic voice if it's communication, but also I think business services plays such a key role in that employers, they're looking for not the latest sales pitch that's been crafted by AI, but authentic relationships.
Yes. Absolutely. And I think it's so important that we understand no different than with job seeker services or business services, there is no one size fits all. So I think it's phenomenal to come to a national conference. Every area in a state is different. Every state is different. So I can get this tool, put in my toolbox, this tool in my toolbox to customize, as Alexa said earlier, a package for what meets our employer needs where we are. And with AI, so many things, as Alexis touched on, if you're working for a local board, that board needs to have a policy on how you can use AI. But what we don't need to do is let AI, as you were touching on, we still need our personalities. We can have AI as a tool to create. We can customize that tool with our personalities to share with our businesses and industries. So personally, I've had some great structures, sentences, paragraphs from AI. I don't just copy and paste them. I adjust it to me. I'm not changing the content. I'm just putting some personality in it. And let's all be honest, you have to have a personal relationship with the people that you're working with to be successful. We can use this tool. Don't let this tool replace us. It can't.
That's great. From the individual, the team, the organizations, that policy, it's such a key. And before we close, my final question is, as we look forward to the future, NAHDAP is a professional development organization. This is a key issue that's going to be with us. It's here to stay. Yes. What are some perhaps teasers that those that are listening can look out for from NAHDAP to address this? I know there's a youth conference symposium that's coming up this year and going into 2026.
So coming soon, Probably the last week in February, we will have a virtual academy on AI, and the application will be in workforce development. That will be virtual. There will be a total of 8 hours of training in about a 2.5-day period. We want you to keep up with your jobs that you have to do, but there'll be 2 to 3 hours for a couple of days, an hour or so on the last day, to really focus on this one topic. And there is nothing really beats being in person, but there is an advantage with virtual. You can get a recording of those things. So you can hear it once, replay it, play it as much as you need it. So looking forward to that. And maybe another teaser for our Business Services Academy next year. There was a focus this year, but there will be a bigger focus on apprenticeship, work-based learning, because this is the future for the next few years, at least, of business services. So we really have to come together and figure out, how do we do this effectively as a system? We have to educate ourselves and our employers on how we can make this happen. So, couple of teasers.
Yeah. Something to look forward to. Coming soon at a conference near you, right?
Yes, yes.
Well, David, Alexis, I want to thank you for your time. I know this is the final day of all of the festivities, and it's been another great time here. So great job. Look forward to being a part of some of those future things to come and connecting with you at some of the other conferences as well over the coming year. So thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you for having us.
We'll see you on the road soon.
That's right. Safe travels.
Thank you for listening to KRA's The Hub. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. To learn more about KRA Corporation, visit www.kra.com. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll be back soon with a new episode.